One of the biggest problems in building a home gym is not having enough space. So today we built an entire home gym on the wall. Move that car! Hey guys, this is Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. I get a ton of questions on building a home gym. One of the biggest is I just don't have enough real estate. In fact, outside of budget, which is why we created the Budget Gym Co-op channel, go check it out. The reason that people don't start home gyms is because of space. And if you want to see us build this same exact gym that we have here, but on an absolute budget, make sure you subscribe to the Budget Gym Co-op channel. Today, we wanted to show you how to build an entire home gym that you can do pretty much every movement that you would do at a commercial gym in your own domicile. And we put it entirely on a wall. This is the gym. That sounded pretty good, actually. Sam, can you sing better than that? Okay. All right, let's start on one section of the wall and we'll move along. There's a lot of kind of surprises and Easter eggs in this that are pretty cool that I want to show you. Let's just start over here. Okay, first off, everything that we've got here is mounted on the wall. Every single part of it, that was the goal, is how can you get it off the floor? When you're parking in a garage, which is what kind of this is, it's a one-car garage, maybe a little bit wider, but still, the idea is you could fit a literal car in here and then get everything out after you pull out and be able to lift. Now, there are a lot of companies making wall mount equipment, and so we took the best of them and put them into one garage. First off, let's start with what's here. This is the torque tank. This is designed as a magnetic sled. The idea is that you can use this instead of a traditional sled. So technically what you normally do, raise your garage door, take this outside, put a small plate on it, and then you can start using it as a sled. But the nice part is they have wall mount. So you can take this bad boy off, set it down, fold it up, put your arms in, and then you can use it as a traditional sled, and it's fully resisted. If this is your first time here, you may have never seen these, but they are the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then when you're done doing your sled work, you move them over here, place your arms in, fold your tank down, lift that bad boy up, and store it neatly on the wall. Oh man. Things that go on the wall just feel so freaking good. Okay, but that's for your conditioning. But we need some strength equipment. Right here, we have a gun rack, or also known as a barbell rack. Barbell rack, you will use barbells in your home gym, no matter what kind of home gym you have. So this is a great implementation so you can have multiple barbells, because the amount of barbells you need is equal to N+1, N being the amount of barbells you currently have. We've got barbell storage, a couple more budget-friendly barbells, a Living Fit barbell, which is their power bar, kind of similar to Texas Power Bar, which you can kind of see with the long collars there. And then this one's from Hansu Power. Then what we did is we attached a wall mount wall ball holder from Titan Fitness onto the same mount that you have for the barbell rack. So it sits in the same studs, has these that are movable, and it's fully modular with the different holes so you can move them in, and you can put different things up there, sandbag, wall ball, and then this is a pivot pad for hip thrust as well. Moving on. This is honestly one of my most recommended pieces right now. This is the Freak Athlete Hyper Pro. We actually just had them in town to show us some new stuff they're working on, which is pretty freaking sick. But we wanted to figure out a way to put this on the wall, so we figured they've got this front bar. You can attach it to the barbell holder you've already got. This is not a light piece, and technically they don't talk about this being wall mounted. It would be pretty cool if Freak Athlete came out with a wall mount, but it can sit up. Just wanted to kind of get it off the floor. So whenever you want to use it, you can take it off the wall, place it down, and suddenly you can do different movements, whether that is Nordic curls, 45-degree hyper, a reverse hyper. It actually has an attachment for a leg developer, so you can do leg extensions, leg curls, and also a GHD. I call this the Swiss Army knife of body weight, lower body training. If there's a piece that's in here that I think a lot of people would like to add to their gym, this is probably one of them. But when you're done using it, if you don't mind standing it up, you can do it like that. But if you want to be a little bit extra bougie, and say, you know, your garage floods or something, you can also attach it to a wall like we did. It's just nice. Even if there's just an inch, get down here. Even just an inch off the floor, you know, it's just, it's really nice because then it's not gonna collect all sorts of dust and leaves and all that sort of stuff in your garage, you can easily sweep it out. Then let's move to what I call the magnum opus of the gym. This is the centerpiece. The squat rack is generally the centerpiece, and this thing has some really cool stuff on it. First off, you can see the amount of space this is taking up right now is about 6 inches or so against the wall. If you wanted a slimmer bench, they actually make a bench that goes in the middle and takes up the same amount of weight. We went with a different bench, and I'll show you why here in a moment. But this rack is from PRX and designed to be a fold down rack. Typically, fold down racks kind of lack some versatility, specifically for cables, but we've added an attachment so that you can do that. So to fold it down, it uses 100-pound gas shocks, 4 of them, so it's assisted on the down and on the up, but you simply pull it out and down, and then you can lift. It's beautiful. Now we have spotter arms, J-cups, you name it, as you would use on a standard half rack. It also has a pull-up bar that you can easily just jump on and knock out a couple pull-ups whenever you like. But one of the coolest features of this is this right here. This is in collaboration with a company called Dialed Motion. The quality on this, the engineering, honestly, there isn't a piece of gym equipment that makes me smile as much as using their stuff. It is incredibly well done. So first off, they use this thing called a retractor. It's like going up. I want to hear that sound every time I start my lift. You know, it's like going up the roller coaster at the top. It's like, ah! But what that's doing is it's retracting so you can use it at different lengths. So I have 2 ways that we can do cable movements in here. I'll show you the other one, functional trainer, in a little bit, but this one can operate as a functional trainer. Let me get out the plate posts. These are stainless steel plate posts with a specialized end that allow you to take this, retract it down, and automatically connect it once you put it in. So now it's connected. This one does the same thing. Unlock it, put it in, it locks in, then lock it so you're ready to go. You can adjust these up and down on the trolleys. If you want to unlock it, move this up and down. It also comes fully off and can go on 5/8" holes like we have on here, or 1" holes. So this can go on here wherever you'd like, lock it. Then you're ready to use it for whatever movements that you would ordinarily do on a functional trainer. Whether that's chest flies or rows, you can move it up and down whenever you want to. So if you want to do different movements, you can. You can also take it all the way off the upright to move it around this housing here, to move it all the way there. Fully UHMW plastic, aluminum pull, it's just really well done, which is cool. But I have another functional trainer over there I'm gonna show you in a moment that I like better than this because it's plate loaded. And one thing that I didn't have in the gym, but do have now, is a lat pull down. Okay, so in order to do this, we bring this all the way to the top. We're gonna unlock this. This is what I'm gonna use for the lat pull down handle, the pulley here. So they make this so you can wrap it all the way around. I can then take this guy, move it over here, and you can just leave it in this orientation if you want to, or you can just quickly, I mean, honestly, not very hard. And then you're locked in. So then I take my bench. Now the bench that I'm using in this is the Rep Nighthawk bench. This is a mid-tier priced bench. Honestly, it's one of my favorite benches from Rep. Everything about it is just dialed, really well done. One reason we put this on here is because it also fits in a mount that goes on the wall. This mount's from Titan Fitness. It's honestly made for a rower, but it's also a way that you can store a bench. There's many benches that you could store on the wall, or if you just want to stand it up, there's a lot of benches that can do that too. But we wanted to put it on the wall. So bring it over to your rack. We have a seat stay for our legs with a beautiful magnetic pin. Put that in there, change out the handle on our pegboard for the Mutant Metals times Darko times Rogue lat pull down handle. And suddenly you can do lat pull downs. Now that's not a lot of weight, so let's go ahead and go to our plate tree, which is on the side. This is from PRX Performance too, but there's many companies that make this on Amazon too for cheaper. This one's pretty nice because it has a change plate dock, so you can put smaller plates on either side and then have a full tree on the wall that goes on studs. Technically, if you wanted to and had a bunch of extra plates, you could put them on both sides, then you don't have to go across, but not a real big deal. Take your plate off. Now we have much heavier weight, and it is extremely smooth to use for lat pull downs. Honestly, as smooth as any high-end commercial machine that you'd find in a typical gym. Very well done. Okay, moving on. Some other additions that we've had to it. One, we added a Clevabuilt times rep landmine. This is nice and also stores upright on a magnet. This is a really well done landmine. You can go with a ton of different landmines. This one is just really well designed. If you're into good design and quality components and willing to spend a little bit extra, this is the one I'd get. But there's many options out there. I just like that it stores up on the upright. Then to this corner, we have a rower. This is the C2 rower. You gotta have some sort of conditioning piece in your gym. This is a easy one to put on a wall. They make tons of mounts for them. You can go with a lot of different rowers, whether it's C2, Rogue Echo, Hydro, but the C2, the Rogue Echo, they're a little bit lighter and easier to store on the wall. So if you want to use it, you really easily just take it off and then you can put it back on. Now we have this on a Rubbermaid track. This is just something, actually this one's from Cobalt. You can get these on, this one's from Lowe's, but really cheap and just easy to adjust the side to side, but they make actual mounts for these if you want that too. Then these, we have two different pieces from Torque that are more conditioning type pieces. This one is the Relentless Rope, and this is the Relentless Rope XR. This is their newer version. One reason they came out with the newer version is when we reviewed the original version, we put so much force on this that the rope actually snapped. So they came out with a new version. This is the idea. It uses magnetic resistance, similar to resistance that they use in their Torque tank that I showed at the beginning. So you can do rope pulls, and if you wanna make it really hard, you can go here, or easier, so it's faster up here. Just a quick way to get a really cool movement in that you would normally not be able to do in a home gym, and you can store it on a wall. Then to here, this is a little bit of a custom fab job here. This shelf, Sam, where'd you get this shelf? Flexi mounts. This is a flexi mount dumbbell shelf. No, it's not. This is just a flexi mount shelf that we repurposed into a wall mount dumbbell shelf. Now, I don't know of a company, they may be out there, let me know in the comments, that makes a wall mounted adjustable dumbbell shelf. There are companies, PRX Performance makes a dumbbell shelf, but they're like fixed dumbbells. They're not flat. So we took, how much does this cost, Sam? $129, you can probably get it on sale often. 350 pound capacity, which right now we have, well, 100 pound, times 200 pounds, which these are the MX Selects, the new adjustable dumbbells that go all the way from 10 pounds up to 100 pounds very quickly. So we have these stored on the wall. This technically should be able to hold all this that's here, and it probably shouldn't be able to hold my 400 pound self in addition to that, but let's go ahead and try it. It's supposed to be in 3 different studs. This side, because of our building build, technically this is not a stud. This is in an anchor, a drywall anchor. I did it. It definitely had a little bit of a creak. This isn't technically designed for dumbbells. 350 is probably like the max you'd want to put in, and you want to make sure it's in 3 different studs. But honestly, it's holding these dumbbells no problem. And I can, this is a 100 pound dumbbell, take it out, I mean, set it with some force and it's fine. So if you're looking for a cheaper solution that is wall mountable for an adjustable dumbbell stand, this may be an option, because otherwise you're gonna be paying probably quite a bit more for a dumbbell stand, depending who you go with. But we have a pegboard system, just a standard wall mount pegboard system to hold all sorts of attachments. Belt squat here that we could attach to the rack if we want to do belt squats as well, in addition to all the other movements, and just a myriad of cable attachments, which is really nice. And then over here, this is the Relentless Ripper, which is very similar to a ski erg from Concept 2, but stores completely on the wall. Has a monitor that folds down when you want to use it, folds out when it's out of the way. You could technically put it high enough so you can park a car underneath and it not be an issue, but whenever you want to use it, fold down the monitor and go to town on it. You adjust the resistance with this here, so you can go lighter or more resistance. Use the same magnetic motor as is in the Relentless Rope, as well as the tank. Then lastly is this bad boy. This thing is pretty sick. This is a GetRx'd functional trainer on a single stack. So the way this works, they take two of their what's called tornado arms. They're like a free motion style arm that allows you to have two exit points. There's one upright, and then they made it as slim as possible, so the stack, instead of setting behind and this jutting out really far, it sits against the wall. So as you can see, I mean, it's taking literally 6 inches maybe, then you add this, you're like 12 inches off the wall for a full functional trainer and have two exit points. The problem with a lot of these is they only have one exit point. So you can adjust this up and down, which it is very heavy, by the way. They are using rollers now though, so it's pretty smooth. You can then adjust these arms in and out and up and down, so you can do all sorts of movements with it. So because they're wide enough, you're able to do, you know, dual arm movements that you wouldn't normally be able to do with a unit of this way. Now I will say, when you're using them together, the cable travel on it is very low, partly because of how tall it is. It would be kind of cool if they made it taller with that stack, but you're able to get, at least here, if I go here, that's when we start hitting the top. But this does give you enough cable travel to do typical movements that you'd want to do, and you can adjust this fully articulating up and down on the upright. This thing is sweet. If you really wanted to, you move these in, move that bad boy up, and you can connect these two to double the weight that you're using, 200-pound stack. So it's 100 pound per pull. So you'd have 200 pounds lat pull down. You could attach a leg roller and be able to do lat pull downs on this unit that takes up hardly any space. This thing is sick. Okay, this is the single wall gym. Everything stores on the wall. When you want to use it, you pull it down, and honestly, everything goes back up really quickly. Just as an example, I could put this up and then quickly throw this bad boy all the way against the wall, and suddenly you have the ability to park in your gym after you put your bench up. Pretty sweet. Okay, if you're looking to build a home gym, the two most common complaints, budget and space. This one solves for space. We need to create one now that solves for budget. We'll do that over in the Budget Gym Co-op channel. This has been Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. We'll see you next time. Peace.